Welcome everybody to this Voices of Africa. This is the second episode of our Voices, and I'm so pleased to be with you all again. And Nosy is joining me today.
Hi everyone, and welcome again to this episode. And we look forward to actually being with you on this very short episode.
So as I say, turning the tide, African Voices is all about being driven by global and African trends. And this episode is going to be the personal branding. Remember, our journey is over 2021, and we're going to be aspirational in how we're connecting. Fundamentally, you and your talent is going to be on show when you're talking about personal branding. And of course, the reward to you, we're going to explain why this is so important. Also, it does require your time in order to invest in yourself to deliver your own personal branding. Remember, it's all about capacity and partnering. And this whole episode is actually inspired by a lady called Ella Orr. And also, remember in 2018 when we all met in Botswana at the Botswanan Institute of Geomatics, we talked about branding then. So as I say, aspirationally, we want to keep connected about our voices across the continent, but also over the next 12 months, because it's turning that tide of experience that we all went through during 2020. And we want to aim over this year to keep connected, have fun, to listen, create, and deliver various episodes with you and me together. So this episode, African Voices, is about the personal brand. We're going to just quickly run together through why it matters. Nosy and I are going to give you a 6-point plan of action that will actually define your personal brand. That's where your investment is going to be important, because you're going to have to think about this and actually think about what it means to you. Remember, it's actually going to be a rapid appraisal, because it's going to take time when you do it for yourself. Nosy, I'm going to start with just a little bit about the what and why. So what is our personal brand? Well, there's a war for talent out there. So it really is all about you and your skill set. Because when we think about a personal brand, we're going on, if you like, our own journey of self-discovery. It's what makes you unique. Why do people come and buy from you? You may already feel you have a brand. And often you'll say, well, I'm a professional, so I've got a brand. But actually, the personal brand says something about you. And why this matters is because to be effective, not only in our own country, across the continent, but also globally, we've got to be responsive. Your talents have got to show through. And that's why it's so important to be connected. So, the why of the personal brand, it's no longer the domain of celebrities. We all have our own personal brand. But please don't get too hung up on the jargon and say, well, look, I'm just an employee. Why would I need a personal brand? Well, it may not always be so. You might be wanting to get out there on your own benefit in order to benefit others, or you might want to get a particular role in a big corporate or in a company. So you've got to craft your brand, because it will show what you're about, and it will be much easier to get that dream job or that dream role, because we are all competing on an international stage. And I guess it's about one quote I heard, which I thought was really quite good, was from Jeff Bezos. Your brand is what other people say about you when you are not in the room. So, do not be the world's best kept secret. You've got to show who you are, and you've got to show what you do, why you do it, and also help attract your ideal client. So let me just share with you a slide, because it just helps you see where we're going to go. Your superpowers is the first step. Again, that was a fantastic phrase from Ella Orr. Next step is why you and your brand really will count. And that's about brainstorming and listening to others before you whittle it down. And then that will actually create your brand value, which then will turn also into an elevator pitch should you actually feel that you need it. So, Nosy, you and I are going to work towards your brand values because this is your journey now. And although it will be one of an evolution and reflection, I thought together in our own conversation, we can give everybody a flavor of you and your brand as you develop it, really on a rapid assessment basis. Are you all right with that, Nosy? Is there anything you want to add before we pile into that six-point plan?
Well, Diane, sounds like an interesting process. I've never really done the 6-point plan, so I'm looking forward to how it's going to play out in terms of actually discovering or working through my personal brand. So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, great. Thank you. All right. So the first thing, Nosy, identifying your superpowers. Remember that was step one. So what I'm going to ask you is just maybe a few words, just literally, what actually feels effortless to you? And what do people tell you you're good at?
So like with effortless, you mean what comes almost naturally to me?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I found it's actually learning. I'm a learner. I love learning new things. So for me, it just happens without me making efforts. I could identify any opportunity to learn anything, and yeah, it happens to me just naturally. And also being kind and compassionate. I think that also builds on from my personal values. And I think that's how then I come out even to the world, So being kind and compassionate is just something which is very effortless to me. And excelling. Again, I think it also comes from the learning journey. And as I progress and I grow, yeah, so those are the 3 things. And what do people normally say about me? A lot, but just the key. Problem solving. Apparently, I'm a good problem solver, and just making people feel comfortable. Making them laugh. Apparently, I'm very good at telling random jokes.
Oh yes, I heard that you're very good at jokes. How about a quick joke?
Oh gosh. Okay, so here it comes. So, what's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is one huge plus.
Wow, you've got to know your flags for that. The cross.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm laughing. Okay, you're good at jokes. But what about when, though, do you feel fearless?
When do I feel fearless? I think maybe can you unpack the question for me? Because right now, when I think of fearless, I can think of situations where I've been very scared. So can you explain what we mean by fearless?
Yeah. So it's about where you do something immediately without thinking, because to you, this is, hey, why wouldn't you do this? It's about your natural reaction. And often it's going to be in a position of stress, or, when other people would look at a situation and go, oh, no, I'm not going to try that. Whereas you just go, no, this is what we're going to do. Follow me. What sort of position would you find yourself in when you're fearless?
Okay, no, I get you. So for me, I feel fearless when quitting really is not an option. So, so right there, like kicks in, yes, that superwoman kicks in, and I have to do what's got to be done because really quitting is not an option.
Yeah, great. And what about, and this is something that you might actually have to ask others, but what do you feel you can see more clearly than others around you? You might be in a meeting or something, and you see an answer or whatever, but can you actually articulate what it is that you see more clearly?
I tend to be very able to see the good in what others would probably describe as a bad situation, and also opportunities in the most unlikely places. So that's one thing that I've realized I'm able to identify just like that, that maybe others could miss.
Okay, well, I'm going to, so they were sort of like superpowers, the first step. These things that naturally come out of you. As Ella Orr said, it's you with your superpower persona on. But now we're going to look at step 2, which is the whys. Why do you do things? So what motivates you? Just 1 or 2, and what is your value? What do you stand for?
So What motivates me the most? I live to make a difference, even if it's just in the life of one person. For me, that's enough. That's why I get up in the morning. Just to be around people, my family as well. A lot of what I am, it's because of them. So a lot of what I aspire to be, it's also because of them.
Yeah.
And my values. So I'm from South Africa, and I'm Zulu. So we have this saying called Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. That's the spirit of Ubuntu.
Oh,
In English, it translates to I am because we are. It means as an individual, I cannot isolate or separate myself from the greater community. And that is the spirit of Ubuntu. Those are my values. And yeah, you love your neighbor and as you love yourself, be kind and compassionate. Those are my personal values, which literally every day they drive everything that I do.
yeah. Such a powerful message. Say it again. It was lovely.
Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu.
Oh, lovely. Fantastic. That now I shall always think of that when I see you.
Yeah, definitely.
So, once you've got your superpowers and you understand your whys, and as I say, you've got to write all these words down, brainstorm it, have post-it notes all over the place, because it's really important to gather this evidence and to do the thinking. It might take you hours, you might do it over a week, or you might do it in half an hour, whatever, but it's about getting the information down and articulating it. And indeed, gather evidence from friends and family as well. Ask other people what it is that they think would define you in terms of your superpowers as well as your whys. All right. So once you've got it all down, the next step is about whittling it down. You've got this whole mass of brainstorming going on, and you've got to now start looking about, well, are there phrases and words that match together and that actually start to, if you like, form a picture? And Nosy, I don't know if when you were doing this process, is there any hint you can give people as to how you could do the process of whittling down?
I think we could come up with maybe some categories of it, or identify some themes which came out of what I was describing.
Yeah.
I think that's how we could approach the brainstorming session. So just identifying what really came out frequently in what what I've identified in terms of my superpowers and some of my whys.
Yeah. And that's exactly where we've got to go with this.
Okay.
If you group your statements, all of these words and statements, under 3 headings, and I'm going to give you the headings. Why you do what you do is number 1. Your expertise is number 2. And the third is your personality. And under each of these headings, you can, if you've got them on post-it notes, it's easier, but you can put the thoughts and you drive into 3 columns. And as I say, it's not an immediate task. It's something that comes to you as you go along. And Nosy, you and I did actually practice this a little bit because we wanted to be able to share what this might look like with people. So I'm going to share the screen with us that actually enabled us to do this. So if I quickly share what we developed, and here we have it, the 3 headings. Why you do what you do, your expertise and your personality. And if you remember, Nosy, you put these into the 3 headings. And just to jump on 1 or 2 of them, why you do what you do. And there was the people, making them feel comfortable, your family, you're doing it for your family. And going over to the column of your personality, it's, the good that you see in the bad, in situations or in people. Amazing personality trait. And when you get things that actually go across, like why you do collaboration and your expertise is collaboration, that really is an indicator of a massive strength because it's popping up in 3 of those columns. Now, oh, wow. It was amazing when we were doing this, wasn't it? When we shared this together. Now you can see a row there because you don't keep the top row, which is the why, the your, and the your. What you want to do is develop your own strapline for this. And Nosy, I was going to ask you to write in, but maybe you can tell me what your 3 straplines would be for the why you do, your expertise, and your personality.
Oh gosh, Diane, I think maybe I'll need your help in terms of phrasing some of these. But with what I do, it's about people.
Yeah.
And that just, yeah, it just sums up what I do.
Yeah.
In terms of my expertise, I need help with the phrasing for the second one.
Well, I'll tell you what I did think, actually.
What did you
when
pick
we
up?
were talking about it previously, you're such an explorer. You know, you problem solve and you explore, you collaborate by bringing people together in an exploration. You know, your presence as a leader in those exploration adventures comes through so much. And your amazing active involvement in the geomatics industry, always exploring ways to help, always exploring ways, new ideas. So for me, I would say your expertise is explorer, most certainly.
And I would say you're spot on.
How about your personality?
My personality, you know, I could say a lot, but I think Ubuntu sums it all up for me. I don't think I could say anything outside of that, you know, because it's all encompassing of what my personality is.
Yeah. And I think that's you know, for me, that was the power driver. I mean, when you told me that phrase, it was like, whoa, that sums up your personality. And if anybody asks you to translate, they will get it immediately. One quick word, because we did have a conversation of this on your expertise. We all know you're fantastic in your field, your geomatics, but that might be your professional expertise, but this is your personal professional brand. So you want to bring the things out that make you stand out. You know, it's not just enough to say I'm a surveyor. Well, we're all surveyors, so why does that make you special? What makes you special is the explorer in you, all of those things that you put underneath that heading. So I did actually talk about that to you, and I'd hoped that you would agree. So that's what your 3 strap lines will look like. It defines you as, you know, as your personal statement. If anybody asks you, you know, what's your expertise? Well, yeah, I'm a geomatics surveyor. That's my profession. I love exploring. And whatever I do in my professional field, I'm exploring. And why I do that is because I'm all about people. And, you know, and your personality will shine through anyway. So it's very important to have these sorts of straps because it helps you with initial introductions. It ensures your personal brand is there, but you've got to make sure it runs through everything you do. So no matter what forum, if I introduce you at the beginning of something like this, episode 2, and of course, it will inform your elevator pitch. We don't have time to go through that now, but it's about, you know, everybody knows generally what an elevator pitch is, what you do, what you've achieved and your goals, and what problems do you solve. You've got 3 straps, and from those 3 straps, you pluck the words from your homework that you've done about yourself, and you tell that to the right person at the right time. That's what personal brand's all about. It's, as Jeff Bezos says, what other people say about you when you're not in the room. It's that promise to your clients, a promise of quality, consistency, competency, and reliability. So, you know, Nosy, that was great to share this time with you. I'm just so looking forward to our next connectivity. I want to open it up to the generations. But Nosy, is there anything you want to say before we close?
Oh, wow, what an experience. I really enjoyed actually doing this exercise because, you know, as a professional, we tend to focus more on our professional brand and how we come out or how people perceive us in our professional capacities. But with me, what this taught me is that your personal brand actually lays the foundation from which all your other brands and your different areas of functionality can build off from. So actually, this is the starting point for anyone who wants to establish any other brand about themselves. You know, your personal brand, understanding who you are, is key. Because yeah, your values, what motivates you, they all drive everything else that you do in life. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Nosy, you truly are Umbundu. So for me, thank you for your time. And I think you've said it all. So thank you everyone for watching and listening, and keep connected. And if you want to be on one of these episodes, please contact me. There's much more to be done this year. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.